of this video is basically my advice to young people or anybody who's thinking about making travel as a lifestyle, long-term traveling or just living abroad.
You take a sound, any sound, record it.
Hey guys, welcome back to Live, Love, Life, and Travel. This is your girl Shamika, and if you're new here, welcome. Just to let you know, I usually do upload on the daily, and I upload my travel videos every Monday through Thursday and my free talk videos on the weekend. So if you're interested, please hit that subscribe button. So I wasn't gonna make a video today, but then I watched someone else's video and it inspired me to make this one, and it was a travel video, and she was explaining to her audience how she made money or how she makes money or how she can afford to travel, and it inspired me to make this video. So if you've been following my YouTube channel for a while, you might know that when I first came to Thailand, I literally had $200 in my pocket with a $500 check coming in within a few days, so $700 to start off my month in Thailand, which is not that bad of a cushion depending on where you are in Thailand or Southeast Asia like Chiang Mai, Indonesia, or India. $700 is not that bad. I got an apartment with that, a bike, and I lived fine for a month, and I was able to make more income in my previous online jobs till then. But looking at other people's videos, you see a lot of them who saved for years, 2 years, 3 years, or just a year, saved $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. People who had, you know, the video that I watched prior who inspired me to make this video was she invested in stock, and she looked like she was maybe 19, 20 years old as a young person. I think that's really inspiring because a lot of people look at that as like an old man's thing to do and you have to have millions of dollars. She never disclosed how much she invested, but she did say like it wasn't like tons of money, and that's how she lived while traveling. She waited a year, I guess, and let it build up, and now she takes money from that to fund her travels. And so part of me, like when I watch these videos, I wonder to myself, like, do I regret like jumping the gun and starting off my travels with such a small amount of money? Do I wish I would have saved more money? Do I wish I would have planned more? And a big part of me, honestly, is like, no, not really. But the other part of me, I do kind of wish I planned a little bit more, or I wish maybe I had a better example for people who are watching me. I asked myself the question, would I advise anybody else to do what I do, to walk in my shoes and to just go and just get on a plane and start your travels, no matter how much money you have in your pocket, no matter how much or little planning you've done before you started traveling? Life is too short and you should just do it. Or would I advise people to no, wait a year, put in the hard work, put in the grind, and then you start off your travels? I don't know. The answer is yes and no, because as much as we may not like to admit it to ourselves, a lot of people do that all the time. They put it off till tomorrow. Next year I'll do this. Next year I'll do that. And guess what? Most of the times, none of that ever happens because life just gets in the way. Negativity starts to creep in, doubt starts to creep in, other people's voices start to creep in, and none of that actually ends up happening. So part of me is like, no, like if you just want to travel, just do it. Life is too short. Hashtag YOLO. Just get on the plane and fucking do it. But the other part of me is like, I know the downside to not having a large investment when you're trying to travel for a long period of time, when you're trying to travel as a lifestyle. Not that it takes that much, don't get me wrong, it doesn't take thousands of dollars, but if you don't come down here with a large investment, then are you going to be able to do as much as someone who saved $10,000, $30,000? No. They're going to be able to do a lot more than you can do. They're going to be able to live a lifestyle that you won't be able to afford. And if you're envious of those type of things, then you might feel a little down that you don't have the money to do those things. But it also depends on what kind of lifestyle that you want to live. So I do think it's a good idea to plan ahead. But how much planning? Because like I said, a lot of people plan and a lot of that stuff never happens. I watched a program years ago before I started my business back in California. It was right when the economic crisis hit, and it was a program about entrepreneurships and starting new businesses. And the question was, is it smart to start a new business during an economic crisis? The expert who was speaking on the panel said, first of all, when people are in financial crisis, they become the most creative of figuring out ways how to make money. sometimes when you're too comfortable, you don't think about these things. So maybe if I would have came down with $10,000, maybe I still would be in the same situation, because maybe I would have got so comfortable with that money, I would have still waited to think about how to start passive incomes and other businesses online. And he also said that the death of dreams, the death of people starting their own businesses, starting making their own passive income, or creating inventions and stuff like that, is too much planning. People plan too much. They think they have to put these years and years and years of planning into something for it to come to fruition, and that is just wrong. And he's basically said the same thing I just said. What happens is someone wants to start a business, they go, well, first I want to go to college, and first I need to buy a house, and then first I need to buy a car, and first I need to start a family, and in between all that, I need to do this, and I need to do that, and I need to do this, and I need to do that. All that stuff, between all that is life, and it happens, and a lot of times all that stuff falls to the wayside. He was saying, how many times have you looked at an infomercial and went, oh my gosh, I had that idea, of that invention, and I just never did it because of this and that and this and that. And so too much planning can actually be very hindrance to someone's passion, to someone's dreams, to someone wanting to start their own business or bring in their own income. And so that's why a lot of times I'm just I don't I don't want to plan too much, because I feel like then I'm never gonna do it. Me and my friends have this thing. It's no excuses. If you want something done, just do it. Don't wait. But on the other hand, I've definitely seen the negative side effects, or I've definitely had moments during my travels and throughout my life where I wish I would have planned more, because I could have avoided some mistakes. So how much planning is too much planning? I think it really depends on the person. If you know that you are that type of person, if I put my mind to something, if I plan something, if I make a schedule or a calendar or a vision board, if I say I'm going to do something at this time and I'm going to get it done, then you do you. Give yourself 6 months to a year to 2 years, and you know that every single day you're working towards that goal and that dream, then do it. I think it is a great idea to have more income when you start your travels, or to have a passive income or a business set in stone and have that bringing in income before you start your travels. I think that's an amazing idea. Or do what that girl did and invest in stock or real estate. I think that's a great idea. But if you know you're the type of person who's that looks really good on paper, but it's probably not going to happen, because I know myself and I've done this before. I've made plans for myself before and I just didn't see it through because of life, and shit just happens and I just give up, or I forget about it, or it falls to the wayside. And how can something be a passion if you forget about it? But it happens. A lot of people have so many dreams and goals and passions, and they just take it with them to their deathbed because they never really saw it through. So I think it really depends on the type of person you are. I can see things through, but not all the time, and so if you're not the type of person that can really commit to a year to 2 years, I would say don't plan that much then. I would give yourself a few months, give yourself 6 months, and put in that grind, put in that hard work, save that money. Don't buy those new shoes, and put in the investment time if you want to start a passive income, or if you want to be a freelancer, to gain those clienteles before you start traveling. I do think it's a brilliant way, and that's what I would advise. And if you are someone who can put in the long hours and you're going to still see it through, then give yourself a year, give yourself 2 years. I couldn't wait 2 years, but give yourself that much time if you know that you can see it through. Because I do look at the people who saved that long, and I'm like, wow, I wish I had $30,000 in the bank. That would be awesome, but I didn't, and I don't regret it, because that wasn't my path. And everybody has their moments. So me watching other people's travel channels and seeing all the things they can do, I'm not worried about that, because I know I'm going to have my moment. I know that's going to be me, because I'm putting in the grind now. And that's the other thing. If you don't put in the grind before, if you don't put in the hard work before, you're going to have to put the grind in, and you're going to have to put in the hard work and the hours and the time in eventually. So you don't get a free pass. So if you don't do it before, you would do it later, but at least you've already started your travels. You're already here. So I'm putting in the hard work now and the hours now, and yes, sometimes it's just so frustrating, but I know it's gonna pay off, and I'm gonna be in Thailand while I'm doing it, or probably in a few months I'll be in Bali while I'm doing it. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait for Bali. Anyway, unless I change my mind again. And so there's a lot of things I've done without any planning, like coming to, like when I'm on my deathbed, I'm never gonna be like, oh, I wish I would have planned, you know, longer for my travels. That sucks. No, I'm gonna be like, I'm so glad I did that. I was kick ass. So in the long run, like when it really boils down to it, I don't really care that I didn't wait. And looking back at my situation I was in, I had that business for 7 years and it just crashed and burned within a few months. And mind you, my business was successful for 7 years and I was living my life in LA, one of the most expensive cities, and I was fine for 7 years. It just like overnight it seemed like it just went downhill and I didn't want to stay in that situation. So looking back, I don't really wish I would have stayed longer. Also, when it comes down to it, I'm never gonna regret traveling, so does it really matter? But when I look at other people, I kind of wish I would have planned a little bit more, but not that much. I also believe in like listening to your intuition. Like if your intuition is telling you now is the time to go, then you should go now. If your intuition is telling you to wait, then wait. But if you're going to make a plan, stick to it. I do wish I did have income coming in online when I first started traveling, but it wasn't passive income and I wasn't doing any freelance. So I wish I would have maybe nailed down passive income and had some passive income coming in before I started traveling, or maybe some freelance work. But again, I don't really regret my path, but I'm just saying, will I advise other people to follow the same path? It really depends on the person. If you know that you can stick to it long term, then do that. If you know that you're the type of person that just needs to jump in and do it, then jump in and do it. But just know once you get over here, you're gonna have to put in a grind to find some income to keep your travels going. But at the end of the day, again, life is too short, and I'm never gonna regret traveling, no matter how little or much planning that I put into it. And I think everybody should live their life the same way. Like, yes, you can plan it, but again, just do it though. Just make it, no matter what dream it is, even if it's not traveling, if it's just starting your own business, buying a house, I don't know, getting your doctorate, whatever it is, just make sure you actually get it done and don't let those passions and those dreams fall by the wayside. So again, one hand, yeah, plan and save up money, get your passive income nailed down, but on the other hand, just fucking do it, because traveling is amazing and I love it. I love every second of it. I'm putting in the grind now so I can continue that and I don't regret anything, and you do you. Yellow. I don't know if that was actually that good advice. I'm not even sure. Anyway, guys, like this video if you want to like it. If you have any comments of your own about the video that I just made off the whim, please comment in the comment section below. If you want to continue to follow me on this crazy game called life, please subscribe, and thank you from Live, Love, Life, and Travel.